Welcome to VMSports Cast. I'm Eladio Jaimes.
And I'm Armando Garza.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about our game of the week featuring the La Feria Lions at the Santa Rosa Warriors. This is a big game in the sense that it's a rivalry, one of those small rivalries that we have in the valley between communities. This one's called the Battle of 506, the road connecting the two towns. Tell me a little bit about La Feria. They've pretty much been dominant throughout this whole series. The last 15 years, I think. Early 90s is when Santa Rosa last won a game.
Yeah.
Tell me about La Feria. What can we expect from them? I know they've had two so-and-so games to start the season.
Yeah, they started off with a bang at St. Joseph. They held them to 42 yards, beat them 46-0, and they kind of had a wake-up call, as Coach Alfonso Esquivel said, against Mercedes. That was the game. That's the only game I saw them this year, and that wasn't the La Feria team that I was expecting to see.
I don't think that's the team that anybody expected.
No, they weren't able to move the ball on offense. Mercedes was able to score pretty frequently, and they didn't look at all in sync. Eleazar Esquivel, the quarterback, went down with an injury, and it was all downhill from there. But they rebounded nicely last week with a big 14-12 win over Westaco East at home.
How big was that win for them, coming into a big game like this against Santa Rosa?
And talking to the kids, they were glad to get back into the win column. They were happy about it. The defense played well. They stopped them on a key 2-point conversion try to preserve the win there late. And right now, with Eleazar Esquivel out, I'm not saying that they're not the same team, but they're not the same team. He makes them go. He's a good quarterback, and not to say Raul Bowman's not, because Bowman's coming along nicely too. But if Santa Rosa is going to win this game, it's going to be because of their defense, and they're going to have to slow down Sam Salazar and that running game and that explosive offense of Santa Rosa.
And that's what I was gonna get to also, that the Santa Rosa defense is gonna have to step up and make La Feria beat themselves on offense. But one of the big reasons Santa Rosa is 3-0 at the moment, and kind of having a surprise season, is Sam Salazar. This kid's been playing varsity football for 4 years now. He's a veteran. He knows what it takes to win. He was there when they had Coach Chris Navarro and they got into the playoffs. So he's had a little taste of what winning can be like. And last year they had a tough year with Coach Tuffy Martinez there, but this year they're starting to win. And I was talking to Coach Josh Gonzalez earlier, and I told him how important is it to have a guy like Sam on the team because of his senior leadership. And he just said, it's, as a coach, it's almost like having a second coach out there. There's a kid that can go out there and take control of the team at times if he needs to. They look up to him as a leader. They look up to him as someone they can follow and someone they want to be like, And
he's pretty good too.
And he's pretty good too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I told him. I go, not only is he a leader for you on the field, but at practice, but also during a game, because he's fourth in the valley with 480 rushing yards in 3 games right now. And at any given night, this guy can have a breakout game. This can go for 200, 250 yards. And we're still maybe have yet to see what exactly Sam Salazar can do on a Friday night. This might be one of those games where, the stage is set. It's a big game. It's against La Feria. They haven't beat La Feria since the early 90s. This could be, I expect, if Santa Rosa is going to win, this is going to be the game where Sam Salazar kind of he breaks out. He breaks into the scene. Nobody's heard of him because nobody had really heard of Santa Rosa, but he's been there for 4 years. He's done it. He's paid his dues. I think that this game, he's going to come out and he's going to have probably the game of his life.
Let's talk about the job Josh Gonzalez has done. He was pretty much, for lack of a better word, banished from Valley View in a sense. He built the program from the ground up, had 1 season, and then he was reassigned. And a lot of people felt he got a raw deal there, but he's landed on his feet pretty nicely in Santa Rosa.
Yeah, he has. And I talked to him earlier today, and I brought that up. And he goes, the past is the past. I'm not going to dwell on the past. I'm going to look into the future. And that's because the future looks bright. In Santa Rosa, I mean, he didn't have the type of athletes at Valley View that he does at Santa Rosa. And you know, if you would have given them a few more seasons, they might have started winning at Valley View too. But the fact of the matter is, they let him go. But like you said, he landed on his feet over here in Santa Rosa, and that's the best thing that could have happened. Maybe to Valley View, to Santa Rosa, and to Josh, is, you know, everything worked out for him. Everything worked out for the best. Now the thing that he's brought to this program, and that I've talked to some of the kids, I've talked to Sam about it. It's stability. You know, I mean, they haven't had any kind of stability. They've had 4 head coaches in the 4 years that Sam's been a varsity football player. You know, and in talking to him, they really like Josh. They really like playing for him. They feel that he knows what he's talking about. They feel that he brought in a system that's conducive to the type of athletes that they have there and to the personnel that they have at Santa Rosa. You know, Sam goes, we're a running team. We have the line built to run the football. And last year they were throwing the ball a lot more. Yeah. They were more of a passing team. He goes, Josh came in here and said, you know what, we'll throw the ball when we have to, but we're a running team, and that's all they've been doing right now. And Josh, Coach Gonzalez just brought in a new attitude. You know, a lot of the kids, they don't want to play football there. But you know, they brought him in, and you know, there was a few other names on the list of finalists that we saw, and that even we thought might have made better coaches. But right now, you know, they're proving all of us wrong by being 3-0 under Gonzalez. I
think a big key too, along with that, is their quarterback, Buddy Garza. You know, he's a big kid. He's tough. He can run when he has to, but he can wing it too. You know, I saw him last week against Lyford, and you know, they made a couple of over the middle passes into touchdowns or into long gains. So Buddy Garza is an important part of that offense as well as Sam. So.
Oh, he is. You know, and they're a running team. You know, there's no secret about that. But they're going to pass the ball, and they're going to pass the ball just enough to keep the defense honest. You know.
So who do you have winning this game?
Well, seeing that Santa Rosa's having a good year, you know, Sam's having a good year. Everything's kind of coming together for them. You know, if you kind of script it out in a storybook, this is the way you kind of script it out to where you say this is Santa Rosa's year. You know, and I'm going to take Santa Rosa. I'm going to take Santa Rosa in a close one because La Feria is also going to play them tough. And La Feria's, you know, maybe on paper they're still probably the better team. But I just think that everything's pointing Santa Rosa's way. I'm going to take Santa Rosa by a field goal.
I'm right there with you. I'm going to go with Santa Rosa close, only because I think they have a little too much firepower in offense now. I do think La Feria's defense can stop them, can slow them down. I just need to see a little more from La Feria's offense. You know, they haven't done as much as they wanted to. They went to a more pass-oriented scheme, you know, and that's obviously been put on hold a little bit with Eleazar out of the lineup. Yeah. I don't know if Eleazar's playing this game, but if not, I mean, Bowman's a solid backup, and you know, this will be a big stage for Bowman as well and that offense. Randy Rodriguez has been solid, and you know, they're gonna have to put up some points against Santa Rosa to come. As cliche as that sounds, they're gonna have to score points to win. But you know, I mean, it can't be a close ball game. I think they're gonna have to put up some major points.
And a couple of side notes on this game. You know, they beat La Villa, a passing team, a couple of weeks ago, and another one of their big rivalries. They were able to go in there and they controlled the game. You know, that's what they're going to have to do here, is going to control the game through the ground. Another side note is Raul Bowman. You know, he grew up in Santa Rosa. His father's a longtime coach from Santa Rosa. They're both now La Feria, so it's a homecoming of sorts for him.
Sure.
You know, don't be surprised if you get a big game from him too. You know, It's like nobody's kind of looking to him or bringing him up and all this, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and has a game of his life too. You know, he's playing against his old school. You know, he wants to go in there and look good. You know, if La Feria is going to win, also it's going to be, you know, it's going to come down to what Raul can do on the field. That's a preview of our game of the week, La Feria at Santa Rosa for week 3. Tune in next week where we'll have a recap of this game and the rest of the weekend's games.